Let's talk about Serena Williams,
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman.
who's arguably the greatest athlete in the history of sports.
The most unprotected person in America is the black woman.
I don't have those types of goals of I want this number, I just have the goal of I want to play well at this tournament. I want to win this tournament.
And for everything she's accomplished,
The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
I had to really take all that energy, put it in a paper bag, so to say, and throw it away.
she is still punished routinely for just being herself.
And I just think it's a joke. It's like we want to turn Serena into this victim.
And yeah, of course, when a black athlete thrives, this jabroni must be the anti-crowd safe space. But it's the routine attacks on her character. It's the double standards, the nonstop vitriol that peeves me. Because no matter her accomplishments, it's an endless cycle from the media to the fans and everyone in between that carry out this hatred over and over and over again.
An American crowd booing an American family, and you have to say that it does smack of a little bit of racism.
Let's go back to 2001 at Indian Wells. Venus Williams, accompanied by her father to watch her sister Serena play, recently pulled out of her semi-match with an injury the crowd mercilessly booed, hurling, per their father Richard Williams, racial slurs directed at the family. And these are just a small sample of the abuse. The undercurrent of racism was painful, confusing, and unfair. In a game I loved with all my heart at one of my most cherished tournaments, I suddenly felt unwelcome, alone, and afraid, Serena wrote in her Time op-ed of the 2001 tournament.
What's crazy is that even after that first incident, these comments didn't stop.
Sports doctor Peter Larkins, seen here giving preferential treatment, said it is the African American race. They just have these huge gluteal strength that contributes to Serena's wins. Jennifer Capriati was clearly out of shape and overweight in Australia in '03. With Serena, that's her physique and genetics, he said.
Tennis superstar Serena Williams breaking her silence off the court, taking aim at the head of the Russian Tennis Federation, Shamil Tarpashev. Tarpashev referred to Serena and Sister Venus as the Williams brothers, later going on to say, quote, "It's frightening when you look at them, but really you just need to play against the ball."
It had started to become a reality. As a black tennis player, I looked different, she wrote. I sounded different, I dressed different, I served different, but when I stepped onto the court, I could compete with anyone.
The Romanian team captain and former #1 tennis star Ilie Nastase was overheard making racist comments about Serena Williams' unborn baby with her fiancé, Alexis Ohanian. Nastase allegedly saying, "Let's see what color it has. Chocolate with milk?"
Still, even with her wins, it didn't stop. The racism, the sexism, it's endless.
It's just something I had to grow used to, which shouldn't be normal, right? But it was had to be normal for me.
So let me ask you a question. How would you feel and or react if someone wrote of you, "Generally, I'm all for chunky sports stars, but tennis requires a mobility Serena cannot hope to achieve while lugging around breasts that are registered to vote in a different U.S. state from the rest of her."
Why then is Serena Williams' body the topic du jour once again?
Again, endless. Like from grifting a-hole Jason Whitlock, who once penned, "With a reduction in glut, a little less butt, and a smidgen more guts, Serena would easily be as big as Michael Jackson, dwarf Tiger, and take a run at Rosa Parks." He also went on to say in the same article, she'd rather eat, half-ass her way through non-major tournaments, and complain she's not getting the respect her 11 major championship resume demands. She complains about being ranked #2 in the world when she's not bitching on Twitter or her blog about new rules that forbid Wimbledon players from eating in the locker room. And here's the thing, these are just a few cases. Serena has been doing this since she was in her teenage years, and she continues to endure it for simply being who she is. In tennis, which is a sport that no one really looks like me, at least in the beginning, you can't really express yourself or it's seen as bad, she said. Or you might say something and you could never even use profanity at all and they'll take a game from you, which is crazy. There's a double standard in everything that we do, she said, and that's just the society that we happen to live in, and it takes generations to change.